Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with Austin Shaw, and we're at the City Winery, and you guys have to look at the wall behind us because it's made out of wine barrels. It's the coolest thing ever, but we're here with Austin, and we want to talk about your new EP that's just released today, right?
Today, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Great. It's a 4-song EP. It's called Felt, and it's basically a precursor to a full-length album that I'm releasing this summer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know, and I love the song Felt, and I know what it means, but the people at home might not know. So can you tell us what the title track is? Because I relate to the story quite well.
Okay, good. You know, it's funny. I sometimes I don't like to tell people sort of what the story is because they might relate to it in a certain way, and then I can kind of crush that by telling them. But you know, I think it's about true love and kind of meeting somebody and knowing it right from the start and feeling it in your heart.
Right. I talk about that all the time because I've been there, and it's one of those neat experiences that you hear about, but you don't expect to ever encounter.
Right.
And
right.
so when I read that about your song, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to the song right away.
Yeah.
So is that an experience that you yourself have encountered, or you know somebody who has, where it's just been amazing and that's where the song came from, or am I just totally wrong?
It actually came from when I met my wife.
Aw.
So it was at a little beach in California called Lindemar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just north of Santa Cruz. So.
I love that. I love that. And I also read that your story, or the stories in your songs, it's pretty much, you know, your life story with some, you know, some of it's in order, some of it's kind of just experiences here and there.
Yeah.
So what is that like for you, writing about your life and putting it out there for, you know, everybody to hear?
Yeah, well, a lot of this, when I started writing it, I didn't even expect these to sort of turn into songs. I've always kept journals and kind of written my stuff down, that's good, bad, and everything in between. And, you know, I started to form some of these into songs. And it was pretty cathartic. You know, there's some sort of bad stuff that happened that I wrote some songs about that I've lived through, and then there's, you know, some happy things. And then some of them are just experiences that I think everybody's probably had, you know,
Right.
whether it's falling in love or heartbreak or
Yeah, I was going to say loss. We've all been there.
Right.
Definitely. Well, I think it's incredible that artists like yourself can do that. You know, for me, I'm not a songwriter. I don't think I could ever dig that deep and tell those stories. You know, I think it would be too emotional for me, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. But it's also great because then there's the person who doesn't know how to explain what they're going through, and then they pick a great song. They'll listen to your words and they're like, yes, that's what it is. That's what I'm feeling. And I think it's so important. So thank you for doing that for everybody who has no voice and doesn't know what to say or how to say it. I think that's great that you can speak for them too.
Well,
so
thank you. You know, I've felt the same way. I mean, there are some singer-songwriters that I love, and I'll be going through something in my life, and I'll directly relate to it, and I'll listen to that song 100 times in a day. You know?
Yeah, it's like repeat. Alexa, repeat. Sorry, you know, have you seen that Echo Dot thing or
I haven't, no.
the Amazon thing? Okay, that girl's crazy. You can just plug her in and tell her what to play, and she plays it, and you just tell her to put it on repeat. And so every day, and I got to give a shout out to my Rick Springfield because I'm obsessed with his album Rocket Science. I'm sorry, but I do that every day on repeat. But it's a great way for me when I'm sitting at my desk listening to all the new artists that I'm going to be interviewing, and I really get to, you know, listen to your work and hear your words and get to know who you are, rather than just reading about it on paper. You know, I want to be able to connect to you. So that song right away, I was telling Tommy, I was like, oh my gosh, you have to hear this song. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. And so you said the full-length album is coming out.
Yeah.
And so I want to know about this process. I want to know about the project, who you worked on it with, and when you got started and when it's coming.
Sure. So, gosh, I started writing the songs about 2 years ago. Okay. And then I was introduced to a gentleman named Robert L. Smith with Defy Recording in New York, who's just a wonderful producer engineer. And I sort of built this little ad hoc home studio and was laying down scratch tracks. And when I was introduced to him, he said, well, let's share some of this with me, and we'll pick out some songs, and you can fly to New York, and we'll get in the studio and hash it out. And so he, you know, I probably sent him 50, and we sort of culled through them and got to about 11 of them.
Wow.
And went out there. He had these amazing session musicians that I got to play with. Larry Saltzman, who was basically Paul Simon's guitarist.
Okay.
Joe Bonadio, who's done a lot of work with Sting, is an incredible percussionist. And then Malcolm Gold, who's just this amazing bass player. And then Clara LaFaro did some backup vocals. And we literally went into the studio. I had shared the tracks with them. They had basically kind of come up with some parts, and we
Mm-hmm.
shared things over the internet for, gosh, months. And then when we
Wow.
went in there, we just spent about a week. We'd go in the morning, and we would play straight till midnight, and it was about
That's
the
great.
most fun I've ever had. I mean, it's the most incredible creative experience I've ever had.
That's really neat. I mean, I don't know how to narrow down songs 50 to 11. Like, to me, that would just be really hard, especially when you're like, you could be really partial to one that you've written and
Right.
it not make the cut. Like, that would be crushing to me if the rest of my friends were like, no, I don't think that one is going to make it. I mean, did you encounter that at all? Because that would be
Robert
heartbreaking.
is very good at what he does. He's been doing it a long, long time, so he'd let me down easy on some. Maybe that's a little too similar to the other song, or or
Yeah.
he'd just say, that's we're not going to use that one.
Wow, yeah, I don't like rejection at all. So I'd be like, no, can't we just do all 50? Like, that would be me. But no, I think that's great. And I think that sounds like a lot of fun in the internet. I mean,
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean,
it's incredible that you guys can work together in long distances away from each other. I mean, it's just got to be so much different than it was, 20 years ago.
I imagine, yeah. I mean,
It's incredible. I don't know. I think that's rad. I definitely think that's rad. And I mean, how long were you guys all together as a group in person versus how much work did you do long distance?
yeah, well, we spent, weeks, if not months, kind of sharing stuff back and forth. And then we just spent a week in the studio. I mean, these guys are such pros. It was a little intimidating going in there, but they're also wonderful and welcoming, and,
Right.
and they dug the music, so they were really into it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of how we came up with the Felt name. We had a felt pick for one song, and we're like, gosh, we can kind of really feel these things, and so we sort of that's how the name evolved from that. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, just getting in a room with these guys, and most of the songs we'd bang out in the first or second take, and so it was pretty neat.
Wow. See, I just have no clue. I could never do it, you guys. I just, that seems incredible to me. I don't know how you guys do it. And I see it all the time. People are just, I wrote a song in like a half an hour and I put the music to it already. You guys have brilliant minds. I don't know how you do it, but
You should
I'm,
try. It's once you start doing it, do it once or twice, it starts to flow.
I have a feeling all my songs would be the same. all the tone would be the same. You guys would not want to hear that at all, ever. But no, I'm excited for you playing tonight, though, too. I mean, the room in the City Winery it's an amazing room. It's beautiful. The stage is great, and I don't know. Are you excited about being there? And I saw some people already waiting outside to get in.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I feel spoiled. We've been traveling around with David for a little while now, and the venues he plays at are these amazing listening venues. So they're
Right.
beautiful, iconic venues. Most of the shows have been sold out and everything, but the folks are there to kind of listen.
Right.
So we're really sort of spoiled up there.
Right.
We get time to play our music, and folks respond.
And that's what's so important too, because here in Nashville too, there's so many venues where there's live music all the time, but people are they're kind of doing their thing. They're chatting and talking and having fun. There's bachelorette parties. There's this and that. So the listening room venues are the ones where I like to gravitate to, because people are way more respectful.
Absolutely.
And they're actually there to hear the artist and hear the work that you guys have done. And I think that's incredible. So I'm glad. I can't wait to see you, by the way. I can't wait to hear everything that live, because I've only heard the small sampling,
Right.
But so what else do you have coming up that you can share with everybody? Or is there anything that you can tell us that you're allowed to tell us right now? Because I don't even know.
Yeah, well, no, we're going to finish up. We got a couple more dates with David.
Okay.
We're working on a couple festivals and things. I'm really focused on releasing the full-length album this summer.
Right.
And one thing that's been fun too is really watching David after our set. I swear we learn something new every night, and he doesn't. His musicians are incredible. They're all wonderful guys to be around, and they don't even know what he's going to play until he plays it. So they sort of build the sets
Oh, so that's
as the
interesting.
nights go on. Yeah, and then it's been fun. I've got two super talented guys who are with me. Dear friends, Brian O'Connell, who plays percussion. We couldn't have a full drum set, so we've got a cajon and a djembe, and we've been really creative with the percussion side
fun.
of it. And then Kenny Feinstein, who is an incredible multi-instrumentalist, so he just rips on the mandolin and guitar.
Wow.
And plays just about everything. And so we've been having a blast kind of running around
Oh, that's
together.
great. And I love that. And I come across that too, where you meet one artist like the Swan Brothers. Colton always talks about how Zach can just pick up any instrument and just play it. And you meet these people and you're like, how do you do that? that. I played
Yeah.
one instrument in high school, maybe two. That was it, you know? So I think that's incredible, and good job for you, you know, getting such a great musician there.
He's a dear friend, and you know, it's been fun. The more we play together, the more we play our stuff, the sort of, you know, the
Right.
more creative it gets, a little bit tighter it gets.
So do you feel that you guys have found your sound at this point?
Yeah, you know, you'll see in the new album and the full-length album, there's some sort of bigger band sounds as well, and we've done a bunch of gigs with the bigger band, but it's really fun, a little more intimate to play with an acoustic trio. So
Yeah.
it converts to both, I think.
I think that's great. I think the fans are going to love it too. So everybody at home, you guys got to check it out. And can they find you on social media?
Yeah, you know, you can find everything through my website, austinshawmusic.com. But I'm on Facebook, Austin Shaw.
Right.
My Instagram is Austin Shaw Tunes. But you can find everything through the website pretty much.
That's good. I love it when artists have stuff linked, because
Yeah,
it's like a one-stop shop, you guys. It makes it way easier to find. And
Yeah,
we'll make
absolutely.
sure you have all the links too, so there's no confusion. And you're just so great. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
taking the
much.
time.
I
And
can't thank you enough.
no, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm nobody. I'm just here doing my thing.
guys are great.
But no, thank you, and we can't wait to see you. And we're gonna take some pictures and all kinds of fun stuff. So good luck to you out there,
Super.
and everybody at home. Stay tuned for more.
Thanks so much.